Most people see food and cooking as a chore. I tried to show them that cooking is just fun. Well, I say that there are two things that people should never compromise in. One is good food and the other one is sex. Life is far too short to have bad of each. We're now at the Rialto fish market, which is probably one of the most known fish markets in the world. This is also very typical Venetian seafood. It's called la canoccia. It's unbelievable, but you can only find it here, and it's a fabulous seafood. It's much more delicate than crayfish or lobster. It's fantastic. Anybody who can cook is because they love food. And then you realize that unless you do it yourself, nobody's ever going to do it for you. So you just learn. It's a goose stuffed with a chicken. Chicken is stuffed with 2 pheasants, and the whole thing is kept together by a mix of sausages, parsley, garlic, chestnuts. When I turned 40, I decided I'm only going to do what I love doing, and I'm only going to meet people that I enjoy seeing, and I'm going to entertain people that I really have pleasure having in my house, and all the rest, I'll just give it up. And it works. I was born and brought up in Venice until the age of 19. I then went to study at a hotel school in Lausanne for 4 years. Then I stayed for an extra 4 years in Switzerland, got married to a Swiss man, and then went to live in South Africa for 11 years. Oh, I certainly had a very privileged upbringing. Today, in my whole childhood, I have never had a breakfast, lunch or dinner that wasn't served by a butler with white gloves and a white jacket. San Marco Square is where all the life in Venice, when Venice was the Republic of Venice, happened. For example, in Venice, we call a glass of wine a shade of wine, un'ombra di vino. And the reason why this happens is because obviously in the old times didn't have ice, there were no refrigerators, and the market, the focal point of the market, the trading happened in San Marco Square, and everybody who sold wine would be in the shade of the tower of the Campanile to keep the drinks cool. It's beautiful. You combine culture with exceptionally good ingredients and food. These palazzos were built, in 1500, where it was quite okay to have 5 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but people don't live like that anyway. So every time people buy these palazzos, it's major problems in upgrade them to modern standards. So this is going to be one big entertaining area. There will be a kitchen here. There will be a fireplace here, dining area, sofas, and here I'm going to fit a day bed. I have a lot of projects just because I quite easily get bored with things. So I keep an interesting life for myself. So now the project here in Venice is almost finished. I've got another 2 months of it and then it will be over. Then I'll sell the property, and then I think my next project will be either in India or in China. This is probably the Venetian dish, squid or cuttlefish, cooked in its own ink. So the whole dish becomes black, and then you eat it with some polenta, and it's absolutely delicious. Or you make a risotto with this, or you make a pasta with this. Okay, these are baby artichokes. Da dove vengono questi? So you see they're fresh, they're nice and tight. So this is what artichokes should be, how artichokes should be bought and eaten. Often in the UK, you find that they already start opening up, which means they're ready to flour. I don't think there is any precision in cooking. There is no measuring. There is no recipes. There is no cookery books. It's just at the base there is a huge knowledge of ingredients. So you need to understand and to know your ingredients. And once you have a knowledge of those ingredients, it is all about the same job that an artist does when he's sitting in front of a white canvas. And the artist puts together colors and shapes. A chef puts together taste and textures. These are tiny, tiny shrimps. Look, they're still alive. they jump off your hands. But these, you put them in a bit of flour, deep fry them, and they become red, and they are the tastiest thing you have ever tasted. I mean, a person who comes to a cooking class, I can teach them 5 recipes. Are you going to be any better cook after 5 recipes that you know? No, you just know 5 recipes. But the hours that I spend at the market with them, where I really teach them ingredient after ingredient, and I make them taste things and say, well, you can use this way, or you can use that way. That is the lesson. It's not the 5 recipes that I'm going to teach them. They're not going to be better chefs that evening than they were the day before. This is a very typical vegetable of the Venetian era. It is a winter salad, needs frost in order to grow. You cannot find it in summer. But more than teaching cooking, I teach a lifestyle, because nobody can teach you how to cook. Cooking is a very personal thing. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to teach somebody how to make jewelry. You can teach them how to melt gold, or how to recognize stones, but it will be then to the person to put it together in a different way. So I can't teach people how to cook. I can teach them how to appreciate food. I can teach them how to recognize ingredients, but the fact of putting it together, it will be up to them. So I chopped up all the bones, and I had them reduced with red wine, water, onions, celery, carrots, bay leaf, pink pepper. I'm going to let it cook, and then when it's at the quantity I need, I will thicken it with some chestnut flour, and then I will add, at the last minute, I will add some black truffle, which has got a very earthy flavor, which is going to bring out all the venison sauce flavor. What I teach them then is they come to my house, they sit around the stove on stools in a nice atmosphere, and they drink a lot. We cook together, and I teach them how to fully enjoy a cooking and eating day. And to me, that's the only thing I can teach them in 24 hours. Nothing more, nothing less. Truffle has got a very volatile flavor, so you never cook truffle. So I'm gonna, once the sauce is ready, I'm gonna put it into it. Well, I do intend to take people to Venice, but maybe not only to Venice, all over Italy, to experience a week of Italian lifestyle and Italian food. And it will happen to start with here in the Prosecco area, friends of mine who have a beautiful castle. And I would like to avoid the too much seen areas, and rather make people discover other areas of Italy like Marche, Puglia, Sicily, which is where the food is beautiful, maybe the area of Naples, and so I have the choice of touring Italy in a different way. Venetian times, 10:30 in the morning, people leave the office, come to Baccaris. There is many in Venice, and they all specialize in wines by the glass and all sorts of what we call in Venetian cicchetti. So people stop at about 10:30, 11, they come here, they have a glass of wine, they have a cicchetto, and have a chat with whoever they meet, and then go back to the office. What do people like so much about Italy? It's the food, but bottom line is food is a very simple cuisine. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the grandness of French cuisine, for example. French cuisine is a much more sophisticated cuisine. Italian cuisine is very simple. It's 3-4 ingredients per dish. It's light. But what do people like about Italy? I think it's a lifestyle that they like about Italy. It's this friendliness about Italy. It's this openness about Italy. So people come here and they realize that there is a big difference.